Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with the final Snyder Cut commentary part. Now this will probably be super short because we're just doing, of course, the epilogue here. So if you want to follow along, and you have followed along in other videos, we're on the epilogue. That's the chapter we're on, and this is really going to be pretty quick. So if you've kept up this long in my videos and the Snyder Cut commentaries, this will of course be the last one. So thank you guys for coming, and we'll start in 1, 2, 3. Now, epilogue. A father twice over. Yeah, we got Cyborg's character back here, reconstituting the message his father left him. That's pretty cool. I like that special effect. Cyborg looks pretty cool, but part of me wonders like how he would have looked more in a practical type way. Like, he looks good. I think he's fine. But I do wonder like how Cyborg would have looked like in more of like a RoboCop type fashion or whatever, practical wise. But I think the CGI looks fine. But yeah, it's really cool that Cyborg has like found his place in the world and accepted himself for who he is and everything. Really great ending for the character, and I'm probably right in the idea that we're not going to get Ray Fisher back as Cyborg. From the looks of it, it looks like he's never coming back. And that is a shame with everything that's happened, but well, life goes on. That's just all there is to it. Jason Momoa as Aquaman, yeah. Pretty much this is just saying goodbye to everything that's set up in the movie. I still love this movie. This is still easily in my top 5 favorite comic book movies of all time. But it really is a Snyder director's cut of Justice League. This is for people that really like want just like all the DC they can absorb. This really links up really well with the actual Aquaman movie. Like, just like the way this ends with Aquaman's character, it's like you could just go straight into the Aquaman movie like right after this Snyder cut. It really goes into it really well. But yeah, it really is a shame. We're probably not going to get any kind of continue. From the looks of it, at least the way things seem now with how Warner Brothers is acting and everything, it really looks like this probably is the end. And if you've kept up with my videos and stuff, with the commentaries I've been doing for this movie, splitting into chapters, and all the other Snyder videos I've made about stuff, then you know I am like hugely disappointed. But there also comes a time when you just have to kind of accept that you're probably just not going to get what you want, even though you really want it. I would have just, like, Batman vs. Superman, I enjoy as, like, an Elseworld movie, and I admit, like, that film as, like, an adaptation of Batman vs. or the comics isn't really that good. Like, even in the Ultimate Cut fashion, the story really isn't that good. It is kind of dumb, but at the same time, that's a really entertaining, like, Snyder movie. I judge that as an Elseworld movie, just as its own thing, and I think that movie is just, like, awesome, just great, like, fun for what it is. But just like as a Michael Bay blockbuster type movie, I think it's really fun. But here though, this movie is like legit like DC quality to me. This really surprised me, like this movie did and how good it is. I would have really have just liked to have seen what Snyder could have done after this. If this is a sign of the quality this movie was, of what we would have gotten with a Justice League 2 like sequel to this, I would have really have been interested in seeing it. I think Snyder works the best when he has like much more simpler like plots and stuff. When he tries to do like them Nolan level plots and stuff like Batman vs. Superman, I don't think he's that good at it, to be honest. Like, the scripts are good, but he's not really as good translating it on screen. He's much better at more like these simpler type plots, like this movie and Dawn of the Dead and stuff. Even Sucker Punch really is not very good, but I enjoy that movie as like a cult movie. But yeah, I am a fan of Zack Snyder. I think Zack Snyder's a good entertainer director, but I think he's not a good storyteller when it comes to like complex type stories. But I'm okay with it in Batman vs. Superman because I was really entertained by that movie as like an Elseworld movie as its own thing. But when it comes to like but I can see why people wouldn't like that movie though. As DC fans, I don't see why any DC fan wouldn't like this movie. This is a legit good quality DC movie. This is easily Snyder's best film in my opinion. I really enjoy this film. That's really cool. He's flying up there. Cyborg is. That's really cool. We got Gordon, J.K. Simmons, and that's another thing. Just not being able to see all these characters again. It's so sad and depressing because there's so much cool setup and stuff going on here. But I get the whole studio's problem with things and all that. But at the same time, I still feel like people like this movie. You could easily take stuff from this and mold it to where it would fit in the new direction that the Warner Brothers is wanting to go with the DC franchise. I don't understand why they're so ashamed of just embracing this movie and using stuff from it to create a high quality movie. Like, you can do it if you could keep up the quality of this Snyder cut, director's cut. You could do something really cool with a sequel to this. And I really love this movie, and I get it. Like, as a DC fan, I love this one, but I get it. You couldn't really do a theatrical release, a sequel like this one, like 4 hours and something. You would have to, of course, take it down and all that, but I still think Snyder would make an awesome, like, 3-hour movie. If it was the same quality as this, and he was going for a similar type vibe to this, with a much simpler plot, not trying to do that convoluted stuff on Batman vs. Superman, I really think he could make a legit good DC movie like this. I love that shot with that's awesome. The black suit, like, Superman thing where he pulls his shirt apart, like Christopher Reeve, that's awesome. But yeah, Snyder just falters when he tries to do them overly complex, like Nolan type plots. And like I said on my Batman vs Superman commentary, I really enjoy that movie. As a movie, I really enjoy it. I just don't like it as a I just don't think it's good as a adaptation of the comics. I just like it as a movie. And in a way, that is kind of Snyder is kind of in that Tim Burton type vein thing. Like, when Snyder makes a movie, he makes a Snyder movie, a Zack Snyder movie. And in a way, I respect that. Like, that's a very, artist thing to do. And it's the same thing with Tim Burton. Tim Burton wasn't making Batman. He was making Tim Burton's Batman. It was just closer to what people feel like Batman is. Or it was closer to the spirit of, like, DC than the Batman vs. Superman we got with Superman and all that. And it was also because, like, Batman has always kind of been a dark character and stuff like that. So him killing and stuff, while at the same time it being made in the 80s when it was the first one. So people weren't as, like, hooked on wanting everything exactly like the comics like they do now. But yeah, that really that worked for the time. People would crucify. They would come at Tim Burton like fire from hell if he made that movie today with Batman slaughtering people like he did in that his movie from 1988. I think it was 88. Yeah, there's no way that would be made today. Especially after all the controversy about Ben Affleck's Batman killing people in Batman vs. Superman, which was just ridiculous. These are fictional characters. It's okay for the director to do something different with them. But, like, yeah, I enjoy Batman vs. Superman as a Snyder film. I just don't think it's good, or I just don't think it's that good as a like adaptation of the comics is what it is. I like it as a Zack Snyder like action movie. But this movie, I think, is a legit, good, very good quality DC movie. That's what I like about it. It really feels like DC. But yeah, Snyder's a great director, but he's an entertainer director. He's not a storyteller. That's the problem with Batman vs. Superman. It doesn't work as an adaptation of DC properties because it doesn't feel like Superman. Of course, not so much that it doesn't feel like Superman. It does. It feels like Zack Snyder's Superman, though, is what I mean. Like his extension from the last movie. I guess it all comes down to, like, how can you see these movies? Do you watch them as movies, or do you watch them as comic book adaptations, or do you watch them as both? It all depends on what you're trying to do here and what you're trying to how you view them as, like, from a personal viewpoint. There's really no answer to it. It's just up to you as an individual. But like I said, when it comes to Batman, Man of Steel, I like as a great legit Superman movie. Like, other than some over destruction and that third act of Man of Steel. I think that's a great like Superman blockbuster flick. But Batman versus Superman just tried to do too much. Like he tried to make it too much of a Nolan movie, and it just didn't work as well as an adaptation of DC. But as a Zack Snyder movie, I enjoy it as just like a action movie in terms of just like the coolness of it. I mean, that looks just like Terminator 2. That skeleton sitting in the vehicle there. That's has to be like some type of nod to Terminator 2. I love like this future stuff with the parademons and all that. I really would love to see like a Terminator 2 like apocalypse movie like set in this universe here, like that Zack Snyder's setting up here. This is really cool. Yeah, you could see some weakness there in like the green screen digital stuff with the smoke and stuff, but this was put together like really fast. This ending was, I mean, in a really short time without much money like going into it and stuff to put it in here. But it works because it's quick and it really pays off like the Batman and Joker stuff, so it really makes up for it. I love seeing Deathstroke there with a mohawk. That's really funny. Yeah, I really love that they brought Jared Leto back as the Joker. It's really cool. And of course, they changed his look and everything, but I never had a problem with like the punk gangster look in Suicide Squad. I mean, it's not the look that I would personally have done for the Joker. Like, you could have made a serious, like, hardcore gangster Joker in the vein of like Training Day or something like David Ayer did with Training Day when he wrote that script or whatever, or like they did in Training Day. I mean, but you could have done that instead. David made him more of like a glam type gangster or whatever to appeal to a more of a younger generation, and that's fine. I mean, I like Jared Leto's Joker in that movie, but I am at the same time. I mean, I thought it worked for that movie, even though I think Suicide Squad is pretty much a really dumb mess of a movie. But at the same time, though, it isn't the type of Joker that I would make. This is more closer to my personal style in terms of what I like with the Joker character. That's hilarious the way Jared Leto plays it. The reach around joke. I like this little card trick he does. That was pretty cool. And of course, I like the callbacks to like Robin's death and all that. Jared Leto's Joker is like Cesar Romero on crack or something. It's really funny. That was awesome. That evil Superman with the red glowing eyes. That was so cool. Yeah, we're just about done with this one. I can't believe it. It's been a real long journey doing a commentary for this long, long movie. But it's been pretty rewarding to start this and get to the end here and finish it. It's been pretty fun. Of course, it's different though. Like I've said before, having to sit down and like talk through the whole movie and like chapter after chapter, that does kind of get old because you're doing it like that. Because if I was watching this at home, I could just watch the movie and just focus on watching the movie and not have to focus on like talking about it and everything. So it is different definitely, and does feel more tiring doing it like this. But I still really enjoy watching the movie. Ben Affleck does a real good job here in this movie as Bruce Wayne, but I do think Christian Bale was a little bit stronger as the Bruce Wayne. But Ben Affleck's Batman is friggin' amazing. Part of the reason I think why I love this movie so much as a DC flick is because I really am, for the first time, finally getting to see stuff on screen that I've really wanted to see, like Martian Manhunter and everything else. I love the way he flies in front of the screen like that as like a tribute to like Christopher Reeve's Superman and stuff from like the Richard Donner movies. That's what it really feels like. That's really cool. And I love this little cap off here for Autumn. That's very beautiful. Yeah, this is a masterpiece of a movie that really helps you feel like the love that Zack Snyder has for the properties and stuff. Really enjoyable. So that's pretty much it. That's the wrap up of the Snyder Cut. And yeah, that it's been a blast doing commentary for it. And this one, of course, is going to be much shorter than the other ones. But yeah, it's been a blast. So I'm going to stop the movie. And thank you guys for listening to all of these commentary videos for this movie. And if you're able to like sit and listen to all these in parts in like one setting, more power to you, brother, because you're a stronger man than I am. Because I probably wouldn't want to listen to me for 4 hours and something minutes. Okay, that's I couldn't handle it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for anybody that's bothered to listen to all these. And I hope you at least had some fun hearing them. And it's been fun. So thank you guys, and I'll go ahead and stop it here. And next time we get back to another video, it'll probably be a commentary for A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, finally. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you then.